Luke chapter 9, verses 18 through 36. While he was praying in private and his disciples were with him, he asked them, "Who do the crowds say that I am?" They answered, "John the Baptist. Others, Elijah. Still others, that one of the ancient prophets have come back." "But you," he asked them, "who do you say that I am?" Peter answered, "God's Messiah." But he strictly warned and instructed them to tell this to no one, saying, "It is necessary that the Son of Man suffer many things, and be rejected by the elders, chief priests, and scribes, be killed, and be raised the third day." Then he said to them all, "If anyone wants to follow after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life because of me will save it. For what does it benefit someone if he gains the whole world and yet loses or forfeits himself? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man will be ashamed of him when he comes in his glory, and that of the Father and the holy angels. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God." About 8 days after this conversation, he took along Peter, John, and James, and went up on the mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. Suddenly 2 men were talking with him, Moses and Elijah. They appeared in glory and were speaking of his departure, which he was about to accomplish in Jerusalem. Peter and those with him were in a deep sleep, and when they became fully awake, they saw his glory and the 2 men who were standing with him. As the 2 men were departing from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it's good for us to be here. Let's set up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah," not knowing what he was saying. So he was basically saying he was seeing them all equal. God is not equal with anybody. That's why Elijah and Moses are not to be praised. Jesus is to be praised. Jesus is above them. Jesus is God. As the 2 men were departing from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it's good for us to be here. Let's set up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah," not knowing what he was saying. While he was saying this, a cloud appeared and overshadowed them. They became afraid as they entered the cloud. Then a voice came from the cloud saying, "This is my son, the chosen one. Listen to him." To him. Not to Moses, not to Elijah, not to Mary, not to any of those other idols or any of those other saints that people decide to elevate and put above themselves and above everybody else and praise them. No, listen to Jesus. Listen to him. Listen to the one that was chosen. While he was saying this, a cloud appeared and overshadowed them. They became afraid and they entered the cloud. Then a voice came from the cloud saying, "This is my son, the chosen one. Listen to him." After the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. They kept silent and at that time told no one what they had seen. Of course they were found alone because God took away Moses and Elijah.